top of the ring, so you're going to have your athlete go ahead and extend at the top of the ring dips, while your partner holds the rings to make sure they don't hurt themselves. Up. So we want the rings in the pocket. About 7 to 10 seconds. They're good. So you let them down. And what you want to look for is if they have control or no control. This is not good stability, and so therefore we're not going to progress any further. We're just going to have them work on holding as long as they can before they lose their stability, and then let them drop down. If they're good with that, then we're going to have them do a ring dip and see how they perform in those conditions. And so what we're looking for here is bearing the armpit into the ring, keeping the chest and head up. What we don't want is the torso coming so far forward that the rings end up at your hip. Like here. Okay, as you can see, I'm starting to lose control. That's when you kick and wing or lose control. It also puts a lot of requirement on the smaller muscles of your shoulder as opposed to using your tricep and bicep. So this is what we want to see here. Straight out. Okay? And so that replicates the top of the muscle up from the transition point through the completion of it. Now we'll work on the progression to get to that transition point. So the first thing we'll have them do is false grip. So they're going to grab the inside of each ring, and they're going to utilize inside of their wrist and then false grip, that knife portion of their wrist. They're going to stand underneath and push their knees forward, have them drop down. We're going to go into reverse bridge, nice and tight, and they're going to bring their chest up, and then they're going to push back down. And that's all we're looking at is the ability to bring those rings, bury into your armpits. Okay, once we get through that, then we're going to have them go through and headbutt after they bring the rings all the way through. So we're going to go up and then headbutt. You can see the rings, once they're buried here, they don't move again. The only thing that changes is your position. But the rings never move. So go again. You can see the rings are here. She's going to come up, and then she's going to headbutt. See how the rings never really move. Okay? Not bringing them to her hip or her waist. She's bringing the rings and maintaining them at her armpit. Okay? And then the last piece of the progression is, once they've learned to do that, here to here, have them stop oscillating, and then under their own power, they'll press out to where we start. Go ahead. You have to make sure the athlete knows that there's a distinction between all three of those movements. Okay? We don't want them to kind of convolute all three together because it looks like this. Okay, and that's not how you're going to transition on the high rings. So it's understanding that here, here, and then there. Okay? And then we go over to the high rings. Incidentally, you can make these more difficult by making the rings higher for the athlete, so it requires them to have more extension and having to use more body weight to pull themselves up. So in the high rings, there's three progressions. First one is getting the false grip, full extension, and just pulling themselves up and burying the rings in the armpits like we did over here. The second one is just a single strict muscle up. And the last one is consecutive muscle ups, also using the kip. With the kip, what we want to do is we want to be able to bring our hips up and making our body horizontal to the ground. So we don't want to be vertical like this. We want to be horizontal, which allows you to get that hip butt or head through with your hips high. Your hips will pull you back, allowing your head to go through like a pendulum.
Can you show off the box?
Huh?
Can you show how you do the box?
So the box is used to give a little more height to the ring, to get folks accustomed to what the transition feels like. It's not RX, but if they're worried about getting an RX muscle up after they've already tried a few, then they need to be worried about it. It's about getting them comfortable and understanding what all this feels like. So if they need the box to jump from, give them a little bit of height so they can get those hips up, so they can do this. They eventually will be able to go from here because they'll understand that mechanism and what correct feels like.
Cool.